of Speakers of Heidelin is made possible by our generous patrons. Special thanks to our Supreme and Master Speakers, Omeji Cat Comet, Erisu Yamakawa, Circa Barrakiel, Remy Asalia, Alex Franco AV, Winebow Brood, Psyche, Asuta Starbreeze, Cletus Oreo, Nina Grimstarter, Arcadia Lunashine, Nat Clay, Lily Black, Bob Cece, Mikta Rabentau, Sapa Chakwatol, Edwin, Umbral Wind, Quick Levin, Pamela Isley, Camille Grinno, Elenriel Maximus, Codrith Novelist, Mira Miri, Bay Barbalay, Suno Chicano, Celestao Notrell, Lazy Boy, A Bag of Dragonite, Luke Osborne, Pandaloo Storm Arrow, Tex, Yowie Wowie, Kai Lin, AJ Brainswordson, Anathus Moonscar, Arthur Law, Iridan Derard, Psypup, Spencer Christmas, Noy Fafnir, and Cheshire Saltiri. Support the show and become a patron today at patreon.com/speakersxiv. Thank you.
This is Speakers of Heidelin.
Good evening, Aorcians. Welcome to Speakers of Heidelin, episode 297. I'm Lakeel Bravestone, and I'm joined today by Georgi Wiston, Mail of Anadar, and Rollo Des.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello.
Today is April 30th, 2022. It's the last day of April, which is interesting. I can't believe it's gonna be May.
That's the thing, I know.
Today's main stories, we have 3 Yoshi-P interviews that we're gonna dig through. There's some interesting stuff in there. We'll also be looking through the weapons design contest. What do we call them? Like entries, nominees,
winners.
They're
Winners.
all. Are they all won?
Yeah,
Well,
that's the trouble.
The part at the
Except
part
for
at
the
the bottom are
runners-ups.
not end winners. Yeah.
Okay, the part of the.
But we're only going to talk about the winners.
Oh right, we're just talking about the winners. Okay, yeah. We are also going to read your MogMail, speakersxiv.com/MogMail. That's the show. Stay tuned for the post show. We'll be answering questions from the syndicate. And there you go. There's going to be we're going to talk about the housing stuff as well. So don't worry about that. There's more updates about that. But before that,
I'm sure you're thrilled.
we have to remind you that on this coming Tuesday, we'll be doing the Eurovision countdown show, pre-show, if you will, which is the week before Eurovision. That is. Well, that channel, the channel is already visible for patrons now. It will open, I'm going to say it opens tomorrow. So on Sunday, the channel will open. And then, yeah, on Tuesday, the show will begin. So if you are a Supreme Master or Senior Speaker, you can watch that at the time specified in this infographic. It's at 7 p.m. BST for audio listeners. That's 2 p.m. EDT. See, I'd never
EST.
know if we're in EST or EDT, so I just do ET. So people be like, yeah, you just fill in whichever one it is.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want, it's that. Right, so there you go. That's coming up. Eurovision, big hype. Let's jump into recent events. Well, before we actually start, we have to say happy birthday to Yoshi-P!
Wow.
Yoshi-P!
Wow.
Yeah, he is 49 today. You know what? Maybe I can bring out the...
What a handsome young chap
Ooh.
at only 49.
I don't think you can hear this. I don't think anyone but me could hear that. I played the birthday song just for me. It was very sad.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah. Anyways,
Such youthful hair.
Well, just imagine that the birthday song is playing.
yeah. The birthday song was playing. It was great. We all loved it. 49. Next year is his 50th Birthday. God, it's becoming ancient.
Pagan.
Yeah. So there you go. Happy birthday, Yoshi-P. Hope you get the day off. Probably not, because that
It's a
picture's from the
weekend.
office. So I don't know. Is that from today?
I don't know if that was from today, but like his birthday is on the Saturday, so
Yeah.
hopefully.
Hopefully. I don't know
it'll
what
be
his work
fine.
schedule's like. From what we hear, every time he talks about it, it sounds like he never has a day off. But yeah. All right. This housing lottery thing, huh? There's the fifth follow-up was posted on April 28th. So I'll just read it since we've been following this story. This is Naoki Yoshida, producer and director of Final Fantasy XIV. I apologize for the ongoing disruption caused by problems with the housing lottery system introduced in patch 6.1. Today, I would like to share an update regarding our progress in resolving this issue, reproducing the issue, and fixing identified errors. As I mentioned in our previous update, these steps of the process have been completed, verifying fixes. We finished verifying our fixes as of April 25th, meticulously testing various lottery conditions to ensure all issues have been successfully addressed. The fix for the additional error we mentioned last time, which affects relocation between plots under certain rare conditions, has also been confirmed successful. That's good, because that's the scariest one. You don't want anything to go wrong during relocation. Restoring lottery data. Currently, we are proceeding to construct an internal server environment that simulates conditions on the public servers so as to test methods for restoring players' lottery data. However, the creation of such conditions is subject to factors beyond our control, and we therefore expect this phase to take approximately 8 business days. That's like... Okay, so that's 8 business days since this post, I'm assuming. So this post came out on the 28th. Yeah. I sincerely apologize that this time extends beyond our original estimate for how long fixes would take, but as preventing further issues is our priority, it is necessary in order to ensure that data restoration procedures can be thoroughly tested. Upcoming...
That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. They're trying to fix it, so yeah. Upcoming schedule. We plan to conduct maintenance to fix issues on the public servers and restore lottery results data on Monday, May 16th. This is expected to take... Yeah, this is expected to take approximately 8 to 10 hours and should make purchase of and relocation to plots 1 in the lottery possible once more. Until this maintenance can be performed, however, relocation and sales for all plots will be suspended. We regret the delay, but ask for your understanding as we work to resolve these issues with the necessary caution. Finally, I would like to give my sincerest apologies once more to the distress and aggravation caused by these housing issues and the length of time required to fix them. I assure you that we will take the utmost care in resolving these problems and ensuring your data is restored, and greatly appreciate your patience. Well,
The game's garnered a lot of good faith. I think they can take their time to fix this one, you know? People mind.
I don't think...
I mean, people are still going to be upset with the results because it's a fucking lottery.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
This was a yeah.
They don't seem to be able to win with their housing system.
No
matter what they try, something goes wrong.
Yeah.
Just make Island Sanctuary ready. Everyone can have their individual housing, and you'll be free.
No, this will exacerbate the situation of people thinking Island Sanctuary is individual housing. There's no confirmation of what it'll be.
Right.
They said you could decorate it. They didn't say it was housing, but they said you could decorate it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Hopefully this is the end of the housing... No, it's okay. I can tell you right now, this is not the end of the housing issues. We're going to have housing issues as long as the system exists.
Till this game's death, I'm
yeah, I think that's true. All right. I guess we're going to move on to the weapons design contest, which... yeah, I think the only way to really... I just realized last time we did this, Rollo wasn't here, so Mela is just like covering
Oh,
him
I'll
here.
just float around. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I can be Mela.
Well, you can be Mela. Your nameplate's gonna say Mela, but I thought hopefully people who watched will know who you are, Rolo. Oi, oi! Oh no, God!
No.
We're not time for that promo yet. All right. It also says the wrong date, guys. Ignore this. Ignore this.
It's the wrong episode.
It's the wrong episode.
Everything's wrong. That's okay.
I'm not used
That's
to.
okay.
I'm not used to us having
Episode
this.
294.
Also, why is the camera further down on this one? I'm not used to us having a separate overlay for this. Okay. Well, while we're looking at these, I'm gonna ninja fix that. Oh shh.
Well, calm
God.
down. What have you done?
Oh God, come!
What are you
doing?
Oh my god! Oh my god! What's going on? That was very. That was scary. What was that? All right. So the weapons
Absolute
design
disaster.
contest. Let's have a look at these while I fix.
Oh god.
Okay, so weapons design contest. When was this started? It's a while ago.
Oh, ages ago.
Yeah.
Remember I put in an entry
Months
for
ago.
it?
Yes,
Yes.
Mela, I do remember.
Really? Oh,
Wow, that's a long time ago. That was. I mean, it's a shame it
Didn't
didn't
win,
win.
as you can see. But
Yeah. Well, yeah. So we'll start here. The paladin weapon here.
Ah.
Let's pick some winners and losers. Yeah, let's show
But
it.
this first one's a major winner. How cool
This
it
is
is!
amazingly well designed.
Yeah, it is. It is really nice.
I hope it's like animated in game, like where the Twilight stars or whatever move. And
Oh, that
stuff.
would be cool.
Yeah. So the format is like they have these, and then they have like what I prefer.
Joke weapon.
Yeah, kind of like
have
a
a
joke
joke
weapon.
weapon.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why, but each one has two.
I mean, how would you? Because I think jobs would complain if there was only one picked for each job, and then some got joke weapons and some got real weapons.
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think this was
yeah.
the only way they could fairly do this.
Yeah.
I won't be using this one personally.
You don't want to hold a ladle and a pot lid.
Maybe the ladle,
Uh-huh.
and I'll find like a really. I'll have the other shield, the like Twilight really cool shield with a ladle.
Okay. There we go. Right. Yes. And then we have warrior.
Not a fan of saw axes. They were saw weapons.
Makes me
it's
think
unique.
of like Monster Hunter or something.
Yeah,
I like that it's not something we have in the game, really.
that's true.
That's a nice glow. By the
Yeah.
looks
I think I like the joke one more for Warrior.
I really like the joke one.
Like a
Like
war.
that's the
Yeah,
bond
this one was
issue.
Yeah, yeah. That's cool. Dark Knight has.
Feels like an identity crisis almost.
There's a lot
one.
going on.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I know there's a lot going on, but it feels very angelic, very paladin-esque.
Yeah, it
almost.
feels like a biblical angel mailer. So like where
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
that's true.
like
Yeah, that
scary.
one of the
one.
ones like true life and they're like horrible. Like it's got, if you look at it, it's got that spine texture combined with the wings. Disgusting.
Yeah.
But
in a way,
cool.
though, like Dark Knight in 4 was just the fallen paladin, wasn't it? So maybe it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
This.
This is
one's
because it does.
interesting.
This doesn't feel like a joke weapon. This feels like a
it's-
primal weapon.
Yeah, it
It
does.
looks really cool, actually.
It's
like a Ilmeg sword.
kind of.
something.
Yeah. Yeah. Pink.
It's beautiful.
For the Gunbreaker, this is a very like traditional
Stereotypical.
looking, gunblade.
It's very squall.
Yeah.
We'll say I like it a lot because it has the thing that most gunblade weapons don't have, and which is like the actual revolver.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
100%,
Oh, yeah,
True.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Most
Yeah.
gunblades or gunbreaker weapons for some reason just don't have the revolver. But I'm like, that's kind of like a big.
That's a
Part
bad
of it.
choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm curious as to how that Cerberus detail is going to look in game. So that's quite small.
Oh, is it like here?
It's not going to look good at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that tiny bit there.
Jesus. Yeah.
I mean, they've
I
shown
just-
that they can do it with the Ronken weapon, so maybe we'll be surprised. But
Yeah.
I also assume that on the finalized version it won't say ether in English.
Where do you see ether?
above the. Above the
Oh
barrel.
yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just cut that out. It's weird to just have ether written on it in
Shit. Okay, that doesn't work.
Latin.
Oh, I see. There it is. Yeah. Oh, this was actually. We can
don't think-
be this close. This is fine.
I don't think Latin exists in our world.
No.
Now this one, I love this one. I love that it
This
opens
one's
up.
fun.
And I love that it just says shark. in
Yeah.
English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's not really a. I mean, it has the revolver thing, which is nice as well, but it's.
Yeah.
I don't know where it comes out.
No, I don't know where it shoots from.
Yeah. I
I
don't
guess
know.
it's the eyes.
Oh, that would be cool.
But is that
pretty
how
nice.
bullets work? Can you
Yeah, they
really
just-
twist
Oh,
it
yeah.
Well,
all the
remember-
way down like that
Magic.
acute of an
Remember-
angle? Yeah.
Remember that gunbreaker weapons don't actually
It's
fire
magic.
bullets. They just like explode them.
Yeah. They explode bullets.
Except
All right.
for that healing bullet you shoot at your allies. That's-
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's 100%
That, at
there.
that point, it's
That
different.
one.
Monk. This one's cool.
I like this.
Yeah. Dragon's beard fists.
I prefer monk weapons where they're more on the hand, like the glove ones and stuff.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
Yeah.
like claws or daggers coming out of your arm.
Yeah.
I don't want them too bulky.
Very, very, very cool. I hope those little particle effects are added.
Yeah.
Uh,
Anything else?
no, just this.
Oh, then this one.
Is
Yeah.
it's very on
Yes, that's
theme.
right.
This is a
People
shark.
really like sharks.
Just a shark. Just a shark. Just baby shark with.
I mean, why
As a
not?
glove.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it makes like a little squeaking noise every time you hit the enemy.
Then there's Dragoon.
I don't know. I might need to zoom in on it. It's like
the
a
ribbon is
wolf,
cool.
isn't it?
I don't think that
Yeah,
ribbon's
it
going
is.
to be there. I don't know about that.
Well, I think the ribbon might be there, but I can tell you if it is, it's going to be static.
Oh, it's gonna
I
be
don't think
static.
It's going to be manipulated by physics.
No.
Yeah.
Does it? So the middle bits glow when you take it out,
Yeah, I guess so.
and some bits on the. I mean, it's cool. It's really it's very neat. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's not overstated.
And then there's the fun one.
I don't even. Is that
cat
like
toy.
a tickler?
It's a cat toy.
Yeah, it's a cat toy. It's one of those that you.
Yeah.
Yeah, cute.
Fine. It's not going to have very good animation, so.
No. Ninja.
A little
So
chef's knife.
this is like the thing with ninja. I've never liked ninjas' weapons because they're just tiny knives, and at some point you're like,
Well, the thing.
you're
see,
getting
the thing
tiny
is
knives.
That I've heard. One thing I've heard from a lot of people is they like this because it's closer to being actually just tiny knives, whereas most of the time they're really like extravagant, unnecessarily large
Yeah, they're like
daggers.
super
Yeah,
long.
they look so unwieldy and just stupid.
They're like essentially swords sometimes that they're holding.
Well,
It's
true.
bizarre. But
I don't
this,
really like either of theirs.
this is
personally.
a knife that looks like a knife. It's
It
purple.
doesn't look very
That's not a knife.
usable.
And then
That's
so
a knife.
this one's cute, but I think we've already been told that we can't have different. Like this is like a
Yes.
knife and a fork set, but you can't have a knife and a fork. Unfortunately, they have to
Just
be the
make
same.
them both forks. I want two forks.
I want two forks then. Yeah, that would be cool.
Get the
Thank you.
Muga.
Then samurai.
It's a nice scabbard.
I'll be honest. This looks like just any other samurai.
Yeah, I
sword.
know.
Yeah,
Every samurai weapon.
yeah. This I don't know. It's nice, I guess, but to me it just looks generic.
They put more work in with samurai. They seem to put more work into the scabbard than the swords.
Yeah.
And that's kind of sad.
Well, I guess it's because the sword is so thin. Like there's very little you
Yeah.
can do with it. But
Oh yeah, it does
those who
look two
like
swords.
this style will like it. I guess it's not. It's not bad. It's nice. It just feels
No,
like
it's
I've seen
cool.
it before.
I mean, it just matches
Generic.
the Samurai Limit Break, which is equally unimpressive compared to almost every other melee limit break.
Now this
Yeah.
This is cool.
this one is good. This is
The umbrella sheath.
yeah. It's an
This one's
umbrella.
clever. It's at least like real world
Yeah.
hidden assassin weapon sort of thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Bard.
I wonder if it can be used as an actual umbrella. I mean, I don't think it would
No.
be in the game, but like in real life, could these fake hidden swords could they be
have
used
to
as
have been
real
able
umbrellas?
to. Otherwise, people would be like, put up your umbrella, and then when you couldn't, they'd know.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Okay, so
This
for
is
Bard,
beautiful.
this is a very pretty
This
bow.
is really,
got
really nice. I like this a lot.
Some bird details. Some.
I think Bard has gone very heavily into the harp look,
Yeah.
and I kind of preferred more the bow look.
But they are a bard, and also they do have the harp detail here. There are some strings
A little
here.
bit, but not like it's not too much. I like bows because you don't have a remember you don't have a choice. You can't be an
You're
archer
bard,
anymore.
Yeah, but you're bard. You're not ranger.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no alternative, so it's nice as the only bow wielding class to have some more bows.
Yeah.
I like the little quiver too. It's like two little.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's a quiver.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
yeah, it is.
it's got the arrows.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
yeah,
good.
it's
I like
the
it.
little arrows.
And it also shows that when you pull it out, the birds will like sing, like they'll.
Yeah,
That's cute. Okay, this is. I mean, I feel like these two are sort of in the same vein, even though this is like
Yeah, they're
the
kind of
joke
the same
one.
aesthetic.
Yeah, they kind
I
of
don't
have the
dislike
same
this
thing
one
going.
either.
It's like a nutkin bow.
this one's a little bit more out there with like an actual squirrel.
Oh, this is a real bow though. This has no harp.
Yeah,
this is
this
just
one's
straight
good
up
too.
bow made out of a branch.
Yeah, it's just a tree.
Yeah,
A curved
The arrow-
branch that has leaves on both sides.
yeah.
Yeah, the arrow is cool, but I can't see them being implemented. I don't think any bow has unique arrows.
No.
That's true.
Plus, this one wouldn't. This one would just really hurt.
Well,
Or,
you can
or do they?
design the
Because they
arrows.
actually
It's part
have
of the
included,
design
like-
sheet. Yeah. No, they do.
Yeah, it's in
I
the-
think the
they
arrows
must
are
then.
different. They're part of the design of the weapon.
Okay, that's cool. I don't think I've ever noticed that.
No, well, it's a very small detail. I'd never look at the arrows. Machinist. This was very pretty. It's like a
It's made of porcelain.
it's
Yeah.
called Vittoria do Puo,
I think didn't.
Victory of the People.
Is this a Portuguese one? Right. That was what they said.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
it's based off azulejo ceramic paintings.
That's very cool.
I
think
really
it's,
like the color scheme. It's very
It
unique.
feels unique
for-
in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very
Maybe
pretty.
slightly simple design on some bits, but I'll see how it looks in game.
It's like
I don't
white,
know
blue,
about
and
the little Aether
gold.
box though. The little.
Oh,
I mean, that would be cool, but I don't think that was around.
I wish they could change that. Or
yeah,
just get
that
rid of it.
one's not. Yeah. And this one,
I don't know about this one.
this is.
I don't think
flower
this one's
bouquet.
not for me. Thank you.
Don't mind this.
It's cute.
I mean, it's funny, but it's not unless it can shoot actual flowers.
Oh my
out.
god! Yeah, I mean, surely there must be like some flower petals coming out when you fire with it. That would be cool.
I would love it if you unsheath the weapon, you just took it out of the flowers, like mob style or something. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But this is also interesting, I guess.
Yeah.
you're just holding a bouquet of flowers.
Yeah. Dancer weapons. Now, this one
That
is a
is-
lot.
They're like little
is
swords. It's pretty cool, actually.
They are like little swords.
Yeah.
It's like a sword with a moon thing. It's cool enough. I don't know enough about it. I mean, most dance weapons are just like circles, aren't they?
Yeah.
You get some odd shapes here and there, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this one's a nice, unique. It's cool.
Yeah. Okay. This one. I mean, come on now.
Why does that cat boy have such bad posture?
I
They all
love
do.
that. I love that. It's
Fire.
fire. Yeah.
Fire dancer thingies.
Yeah. They're little bombs with fire coming out of their heads.
I like it.
Yeah.
Always nice to see bombs.
Yeah. Black Mage.
Oh,
The
this
lantern.
is one of the best ones.
this one's
Yeah,
cool.
This one's cool.
They made.
Oh, this is for
versions-
both white and black mage.
Well, I think they've decided to make it for black mage.
Oh, it's been checked.
'Cause they're
for
all
black. I
deserved.
see. Yeah.
Yeah.
A Victorian style lantern embracing the designs of
Filigree.
made out of.
Very small.
Yeah, I can't read that. I'm sorry, but yeah, that's there's a lot of text. Made
out
lots of
of-
details.
Satin black metal. It's hung equally from an anchor point, so the lantern can move with gravity whichever way the user is holding it.
Yeah,
Ooh.
there you go.
And loads of more information.
Inspired by the folklore of the Will-o'-the-Wisp.
There
That's
you go.
cool.
Yeah.
That's a good tale. No, yeah, I really like that. I'd use that. There's lots of cool Black mages don't actually have that many nice weapons. So
Maybe this other
that's-
one you're gonna get though.
Yeah, but this one.
This one's
This is cute.
interesting. I'm okay with this. It's not. It's It's like
Drunken teapot.
you could use it in your Ishgardian roleplay set.
Yeah, it's a spoon balancing some cups, some teacups, with a Ronken, with the wrong
Serpent of Ronka. just
Serpent
at
and
the top.
Ronka. Yeah.
Look, it's the spoon from the one meme where like, can I have some ice cream? Yeah, just one scoop, and then you pull out the.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Summoner. An encounter Lily Grimoire.
It's a cool book.
It's a book.
It's a book,
It's-
but I think it's really cute with the the bird
I like
coming
the
out.
bird.
The
I mean-
bird's cool, and I don't know what material they're doing on this inlaid
This.
those things you'd have where it was like the person's face looking to the side. I can't remember what
Yeah.
they're called.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cameos.
cameos.
Yeah.
And it's got like a bird on both of them, I think, but different
Yeah.
birds. It's cool.
It's
I
a
would
cute
like
design.
it maybe if they were mirrored or crystal or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's it's the same problem that I've kind of had with Ninja, is that with Summoner and Scholar, it's a grimoire class. You're gonna get grimoires.
See, the thing is, one of the first ones they made, the 13 crossover summon Arcanist book, was actually very unique, and we've had very few things as unique as that since then, sadly.
Yeah,
Why
true.
can't they have a scroll or something for a change?
Well,
That would need
was in
a
some of the
change.
losing.
That would-
That's the problem. It's
yeah.
it's too physically.
Remember, they
different from
hold
how
it
it'd
in
be
a
held.
specific way, and then it has to fit
That's
that.
true.
Otherwise, I have to change the. Well, this joke one, I actually think is really cool.
This one's
yeah,
a little bit better in my.
This is like a
It's a bit more
leather-bound-
adventure-y.
yeah. It looks
Kind
like
of fits the aesthetic of the game right now.
yeah, it looks like the aesthetic of the oh god, what is it called?
The Unending Codex.
Unending Codex.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it has the 3 Grand Company symbols just stuck on. I like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like a phoenix down quill.
Neither
I'm
of
a
these
fan
really feel like joke weapons.
No.
No.
Red Mage.
What the hell is that?
I don't. Yeah, at first glance, it's very hard to even understand what you're looking at. Yeah.
It's apparently based on Amarot.
So yeah, you can see that it's this
has
is
a
the
little bit of
handle,
armor at the
obviously.
top.
So
It's
Yeah.
really. I need to see it more in hand.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard to.
I find this hard to visualize, but it's bright.
Yeah.
Get the little curved sword. Wow.
Yeah.
It's got a Zem color.
Shepherd's Crook.
This is
Oh wait, yeah. Here is the joke
Another
one,
umbrella.
which is an
I love
umbrella.
that drawing on the bottom right. It's just-
Yeah, it's
the same
diable.
The
umbrella.
crystal. The
Yeah.
crystal's good. With the little what are those little droopy things called?
Drippy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Blue Mage.
Another umbrella.
Remember
Yes, the third umbrella.
Remember that's the
but
thing.
this one's not the joke option.
No. What's interesting is that because of how this has been designed, you're supposed to hold the umbrella upside down.
Yeah, I guess, and you hold it just in the middle.
Yeah.
a little strange.
Yeah.
I don't know if that gels well for me.
It will look cool in the battle pose animations and the victory pose
Yeah.
ones,
Yeah.
where you hold it at the top usually. But
It's a
Yeah.
nice umbrella though. Like the design of
Oh,
the
it's
umbrella is
very
very
nice
nice,
umbrella.
but
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It's Blue Mage. All right.
Well, neither of these are joke options, actually.
No, this one.
This one's just like a cane.
It's a cane, but it can like pop flowers out of it.
Yeah, it's like one of those magic ones that like magicians
yeah.
use. That like that you
How
hold
does
it out
that
to someone, and then
work?
a bunch of like a bouquet comes out.
I think when you
don't know how it
unsheath
works
it,
in our game.
You unsheath it, and
Like,
then it pops out the
unsheath and then
flowers.
pop out.
Yeah.
That could be
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I dislike. That's not bad. But they're both nice enough, but they're both pretty they're believable blue mage weapons.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
White mage.
A little bunny. Wow, so cute.
The
What
bunny
is
on
it
the
tiny
moon.
on the
It's
bottom?
it's a loperate on the moon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, it's cute. Yeah, it's cute.
Looks like a Kingdom Hearts
It's,
weapon.
It's a little whimsical
and it has
for my
bunnies
taste,
like going
but
up the shaft, as it were.
yeah.
Mm.
There's some. Yeah, I mean, it's
Oh.
cute. It looks fine. And then
I really,
Yeah. Okay.
I this one's it's so hard to know my feelings on this because it's dumb, but it's like funny.
that
It's
cake
got the
better be
lilies at the
spongy.
bottom too.
Yeah.
yeah, the cake. It's a cake with the fork. It's a forked piece of cake. With the
name
lilies
day
at the
came.
bottom. Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah, it's,
but-
it's interesting. The
Whatever.
fat chocobo would like it.
Luke heals no weapon. Yeah.
No. And then for scholar,
Oh, this is super
This
cool.
one's
Both
beautiful.
of ours.
Codex
In fact,
of Lost
I
Palette.
think I like both of the Scholar Codexes more than the Summoner books.
I would
Yeah.
probably agree with you, but this one especially,
Yeah,
the
so,
colours are really nice.
so this is just it's
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross. Yeah.
I
Magic ink.
think they're going to have to replace one of these with actually just like a pad or like a blank easel because scholars need to be able to write in their books for some of their animations. It'd be weird to write in this and then they have
Oh,
nothing
yeah.
to write on.
True. That's true.
I wouldn't be too bothered if the animation looked a bit janky because it's a nice looking piece.
Okay, and then there's
This one's a little bit vibrant for
This
my
is
taste.
extremely vibrant.
That's some Lisa Frank vibes. With this
Yeah,
one.
it's an Eos and Celine
Give me-
themed book.
What is this supposed to be made of? If this is like a stained glass book, that sounds very fragile but very cool.
Maybe it looks like it's made out of
Much
butterfly
like your
wings.
job, Yogi.
It's
Very fragile.
yeah. Now what they've done is
Always teetering.
they've taken butterfly wings and then just ripped them off and then glued them together to
Oh
make
my
this
god.
book. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. This
Need
one.
to see this in game because
This one, the
This one looks
Astrologian
beautiful.
weapon, is amazing. This
Mm-hmm.
looks so cool, and I'm worried that the game won't do it justice.
very unlikely,
I would love
especially with the projection.
Yeah,
to like try and use this in real life because what it looks like it's implied to be like its use is like you set it on the table on the base
Yeah.
thing,
yeah,
and then you like hold it with two hands, and then you like look into
Yeah.
it while trying to balance it.
yeah, yeah. It looks, but it's so detailed. Like I love that. But
Big fave, big
yeah,
fave.
yeah.
Hopefully
Very
it's
good.
There's and also like it has this orb. It's a projection for our audio listeners. This must be a very confusing thing to listen to, but it's it's essentially an orb that has like a projection of constellations in it,
Constellations.
and it shuts off when you're sheathing it. So it's just like a blue orb. Very cool. The joke one is a snow globe
I like it.
with Eureka.
It'd be nice to have
things
for
in.
Christmas glamour.
Yeah, it's cute. It's cute.
We don't
That's the
really
last
have many holiday themed weapons
No, it's
in the
true.
game.
It's
No.
true.
That's the last one. The rest are just
Yeah,
like
the rest are
Oh
fine.
yeah, right. Did we not look at? Were there no Dark Knight weapons?
Yeah, they were the one where it's
Yeah,
like
there
the angel sword, remember?
Oh right. Okay.
the
Yeah.
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 There's
Okay.
no Sage and there's no Reaper weapons.
Right.
Because they weren't, this was set up before the game came out.
Okay. I see.
Okay, now do a hairstyle contest again, please. It's been forever. I think our tastes have changed.
Right, that was the house. Sorry, not the house design contest. That was the weapons design contest. Now we're going to touch a little bit on the ultimate raid that's currently ongoing. What a fight that they've released with this patch. It's quite. I'm not fully up to date because I feel like I don't have the patience to watch. It's fun to watch for like a few hours for me, but then I'm like, I have to do something. I can't sit here and watch this.
Yeah.
But Mela, you've been keeping up on.
I've been watching quite a lot.
Yeah. What do you
Of the
think?
Japanese team. I think this is the best. For me, this is probably the best ultimate. It's not the one thing I liked in. Was it Uwu with the woke mechanic?
Yeah.
Was
Yes.
that was like a secret mechanic they had to find out, but that was ruined by the data mining. But this
Yes.
one, nothing seems to have been ruined. The fight's really clever. It has a weird checkpoint after the first ad phase, which doesn't need to be there, but it's kind of interesting and puts you at maybe a false sense of security.
Yeah.
And then it's just a really hard Thord, and then you go into a really hard Estinian Nidhogg phase. Then there's an ad phase with the two eyes, kind of like in Extreme, where it has the red and blue tethers. And then time rewinds to the first ad phase again, where you have to kill the whichever Knight of the 12 is. I can't remember who it is.
Is Ephraim?
Yes, maybe.
Sure.
I've only been watching in Japanese though, so it's pretty difficult. And then Horsefont obviously is being attacked. But in this version of the phase, once you break out, you can tank LB3 him when he's getting hit, so he doesn't die. And you have to kill the harpoon thing that's being shot into him to save him. And then it splits into two timelines, and now you have to kill King Thornton II in the alternate timeline where he subjugated the Dravanians of the Churning Mists. It's really, really
It is
wild.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Causes
no
the
one's-
initial. What causes the initial time rewind?
You defeat both of the eyes, and then the phase change, it brings up this big clock that ticks back, and then it goes to the first phase again.
Okay.
I don't really know why it happens, but it's just, it's just fun. But yeah, no one's won yet.
Nope.
The highest pull has got Thornton II down to 13.9% on flogs.
Yeah.
But obviously some teams won't have updated that. But yeah, as far as we're aware, it still hasn't been beaten. It's really cool.
It is
And
like
I've not seen the Nidhogg. You know the thing where they had Nidhogg and Racevelga?
yeah,
I've not seen that yet.
right. Like this
I
one.
imagine that must be one of the
The one
last.
that we
Yeah,
have.
that one.
Yeah.
So it must be either there's something after Thornton II, or it's something that happens later in the fight that the team I'm watching hadn't got to, because they've sort of struggled on that part.
Yeah.
The thing I like most about this fight is if you fail to save Horsefont, you don't lose the fight. It just rewinds back to the first Thornton thing, and you can keep going back through the same cycle over and over again.
Yeah.
If you're good enough.
Yeah.
It's very funny. Yeah, I think it'll be beaten probably this weekend, maybe by Monday at the latest. But,
Yeah. Well,
This
if
is
you're
already
watching
the
this on
sec-
demand, it's probably been beaten.
yeah.
This is already the second longest it's taken for
Yeah.
Ultimate to be cleared.
Yeah.
And this one seems, it's been really interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to listen to the music mailer? Like, which tracks have they used? Because I feel like they would use ones from like Duality and the other remix albums.
I think one of them is like I think one of them's a remix from one of the albums. It has the dragon song bit during the ad phase, and then just like the Thornton music, whatever that song's called. But they play with quite low volume.
Yeah, and often
That's fair.
a lot of people that I've watched don't even have the music on anymore.
Yeah.
So
So I only really notice it when they get to the eyeball ad phase, because it does that piano going into the dragon song.
yeah.
I do love the implication of this ultimate that he has to die. There is no other way.
Well,
If he
no,
didn't, I'm still sticking with this is their explanation. He had to die. Sorry.
Well, you don't mess with the timeline, but also we don't know what happens in the secondary timeline. Perhaps we're making another timeline like Graha made 2 timelines.
That's true.
Yeah. We might kill Thornton II, and then for some reason the Empire doesn't do Black Rose.
Right.
And we get flung back into our timeline, but this timeline with Horsefon alive goes on and continues its own timeline. So now there's 3 timelines in our game.
Yeah.
It's been 7 years, please. I'm so
Why are you
tired.
so
Why? I don't know why Horsefon of all people.
I'm tired of Horsefon.
I still visit his grave every day.
I don't understand why you are surprised by this, because remember when we looked at that Japanese Famitsu poll? Like, Horsefon is still the 3rd most favorite character of Japanese players.
Yeah.
Boring
survey
vanilla
for that.
taste.
How do you feel about?
He's not. Rollo,
Okay.
in the Japanese version, Horsefon is a very horny man. Much more horny than he is in ours.
That is true.
It's been so long.
How do you feel about Ysayle then, Rollo?
Ysayle
who?
dope.
Yes, but she died too.
Well, because
She had to die, Rollo.
He had to die.
She had to die.
Legitimately, only thing that really like kind of annoys me about it is that every single time the game is like, you care so much. You care so much. You cared. He was the most.
I do
important.
agree. They
Where
force
it's
your
like-
feelings, and they kind of write your character for you.
Where you know how some people say we're like, oh, Graha's a bit too much. He comes on a bit too hard, and it's like it feels kind of weird. Feel that, but for harsher font,
That's
and
fair.
the game's making you, and that's only thing that really bothers me. That's all. And also the tons of references they have to do to him every single time. We went an expansion with 1 reference. I thought we were free, but no, we're not.
Well, you have to remember, we stayed with his family for all of Heavensward. Like his family
It
was.
was raw then, though.
It was
I mean,
raw. Okay,
Well, it was like
It's fucking raw.
he died during that bit.
that's pretty raw, dude. Fuck this up.
That was
Yeah.
raw, dude.
Well, what about Papalimo then? Yeah, so I guess that wasn't too much of an issue.
I am his high. I agree that Papalimo,
Papalimo,
justice for
especially for
Papalimo.
1.0 players, I think is someone that would mean a lot to those warriors of light.
And it's just weird that the game is insistent
Well-
on harsher font so much.
They kind of do that. With,
Lima
Rollo.
got in the dungeon, didn't he? In
oh,
He got a
spare
reference.
me. Spare me.
Yeah, I know,
And he
the
could
United
easily be
States has
confused
every
with
main
Louis
character.
Soir as well.
what is going on?
Yeah.
The fact that his icon, like his big deal, was the fucking staff. That was Louis Soir's staff.
Broken staff.
Yeah,
I
but
know.
fuck that.
Papalimo Tupsimati. That was his full name. And he owned
It's
Tupsimati.
time to move on. We're gonna do MogMail now.
7 years, move on yourself.
I agree with Rollo in some respects there, but not quite as harshly.
What do you mean?
I mean, I like
it's just something that happened in the timeline. It's just a
But it's a
significant
direct
event.
reference to Heavensward and literally a play on
Rollo,
that whole
what will-
sequence of events.
What were we going to do if Hoshafont didn't get us into Ishgard at that point in the story?
I'm not saying I hate him. Again,
It doesn't sound like that.
I just it's too much for me. It's too much.
Yeah. All right. Time for MogMail. This is from Moriant Pahern from Behemoth. Blah, 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 blah. At first, while doing the new Alliance raid quest, I imagined that there would be a big revelation that Derek is some kind of special person or that he would betray us. But after his antisocial musings, I think that the big revelation will be that the true gods are the friends we made along the way. I don't really have a question. I just wanted to make this bad joke. Do you guys think there will be any big plot twists not related to the 12?
Confused. The most I can imagine is like a relationship to a Zem.
Yeah.
I think they'll actually talk about some of the calamities we don't know a lot about in this. Like the first one, which was the
That's
wind
true.
one.
That's a possibility.
I could see them going into detail about some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe they could say why they've never intervened at any point.
Well, they
Because I
do.
said no.
Well, they kind
They
of...
could go into like this because they seem to have this like set of rules Maybe they
You
could
don't know what
say
those rules are. Well, that's why.
who
my
gave them the
current-
rules.
Well, see, my current theory is that while they aren't ancients themselves, they're ancient constructs in the same way that Loporrits are. And you know how Loporrits have rules; they couldn't interfere with us either. Maybe the 12 were summoned or created with the same rules that or similar rules that they can't contravene.
I'm so I know.
My biggest hope is that they aren't ancients. They are actual gods, deities, and there is a leader of the gods, like in the pantheon, who sits on that. There's that extra portal, and we learn that there's actually like a god of gods or something.
Because there's something weird that's happened. There's been this constant twist away since I would say 1.0, but let's say take A Realm Reborn as an example. Like constantly trying to de-fantasize Final Fantasy 14. Do you understand? Like everything has like some sort of there's not fantasy, mystify. Like everything has like a rationale. Like this was made by someone. This is a construct from real.
Nothing can be.
Nothing is real.
Anymore.
Your gods are false. It's all wrong. The big twist to me would be if it wasn't that. Because to me, I'm ready for that reveal. This would be my face if that was the reveal.
Yeah,
that would be my face.
I just don't see how they can justify it with how they've fabricated the world up to this point.
Yeah, that's the issue, isn't it? I miss the sort of just fantasy for fantasy's sake. Like it doesn't have to have an explanation. It's nice to just have a world of magic.
Final Fantasy 14 is unusual because most of the time, once you have unlocked the secret of the gods in a video game, that's the end of the story.
Oh, yeah,
our game is continuing. So that's why we're in this very weird limbo.
Which they are making it clear that they're here for a reason. There's a specific reason why they have chosen to appear before us now. Right? They make it clear. That's why they duel us. Like they have a trial of some sort. They're judging us. So I'm sure we'll figure out why they're right now revealing themselves to us.
Maybe it's because Heidelin's not here anymore. It's like, we have Dominion now.
Well, that's what they said as a joke. That's what they said initially.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's true. That was to scare us.
Do you think they sort of revealed their we were just joking, we're kind a bit too early? Because now the next 8 gods, we're going to be like, oh, well, we know this is just a trial.
Well, something I theorized recently was that what if we don't necessarily fight them in the next tier? What if so the first tier we're in the heavens of we're in 2 of the 7 heavens.
Yeah.
What if in the next tier we go into 2 of the 7 hells and we fight alongside them?
Oh, that would be interesting.
Okay. Possible.
So we still get to see them. Hells. We just don't we don't end up fighting them ourselves.
Because that's for very specific types of souls, each one as well.
Yeah.
Maybe we can meet some of our enemies.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be interesting because we already know where our enemies have gone. We know that they go into the live stream. What are the 7 hells and the 7 heavens in this world actually?
That's true. Yeah.
We know what happens to our ether after we die. We go into the equivalent of the ethereal sea.
Maybe that's just like the holding cell. Maybe that's limbo, and then they get sorted.
Maybe we don't know, because we know that we go into the ethereal sea, but we don't know much about the ethereal sea, though. Like, there's not a lot we know about why. Like, can you? We know you can be plucked out of it. So what if the gods pluck you out of it? Why wouldn't the gods be able to do that? They might have something to do with that. I don't know. We don't know. That's why I like this phase, because we don't know. But exactly. I'm worried that it's just going to be, we're constructs of a Zem, and now we'll leave, bye, and then they go and turn into dust. What if they
don't leave, though? What if they stick around? It's like they needed to pass on the knowledge of their existence to someone else.
And then they're gone.
And then what? They're just going to be there and be like, we are all of the mystery is lost at that point.
Well, maybe the mystery is lost for us, but like they say, you need to make sure that our legacy is never lost.
That's
because
I don't know. I'm not them. They're
No,
gods.
that's the problem.
They're
Like,
mysterious.
why would we be like, oh yeah, we'll keep like have people worship
Because
these
up
weird
till
constructs?
Now, I mean, considering we found out that Heidelin was a primal, like our character would probably be at this point be like, well, gods can't be real.
Well,
And then-
yeah.
Well, no one worshipped Heidelin other than like the people who knew that she existed. It wasn't like a common belief. This is like the mythos. Like this is the religion of. It's like someone meeting
This is the religion of
God,
the people, but we
actual God,
but
is like,
we
no, I
are-
was made by Steve Jobs, and they're like, oh,
That would
keep
be
telling them
iconic.
to worship me though. Bye. Like,
Chat is
Yeah.
right with Asahi took Fandaniel to like oblivion, but we don't know
true.
how that works.
Also, let's not
Super
forget
turbo
that
hell.
they're in like this kind of realm that we've never encountered before.
No,
Like the Phantom
Well,
realm
yeah.
doesn't make any sense. They can't explain it.
we've never encountered before, but apparently it's a legend that everyone, well, not everyone,
Oh,
but a
yeah,
few
that's
people do
kind of
know about.
bothers
It's a
me.
legend
Like,
that has suddenly been made
they're
up
like,
with
oh, the
this
Phantom
pattern.
realm. Oh yeah, the Phantom realm.
It was very forced, in my opinion. But in terms of Derek, if him or his Oppo don't become anything, I'll be surprised.
Yeah,
I'll be very
because he's
surprised
too
if they go
weird
with them
not to
anything.
have
He's
something.
super weird.
He's
Yeah.
super strange because he has no reaction when the four of them introduce themselves as gods.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Moriant. Next, MogMail. Do we have time for that? Yeah, we can do one more. All right, here we go. Oh, we don't run the intro. Why not?
Well, we are this time.
From Tristanix, from Moogle. Oh, would you look at the clock? It's theory time. So as you probably know, the Void Sent at the end of 6.1 MSQ is 100% Zenos' avatar returned to the Void after his demise. It also seems pretty sentient for a Void Sent. So my theory is that the avatar is actually the shard of Azem from the 13th. We also dreamt of it during the brief shut-eye at the beginning of the patch, so there must be some kind of connection between that specific Void Sent and the Warrior of Light. How likely do you think it is, or is there perhaps another explanation for why this Void Sent is a special case?
Let's call it 90%.
Ooh, he's you but evil.
I'm
I'm
pretty
still waiting to find out what's special about our Void Sent.
Yeah.
Who's that dude?
Yeah.
Why are we under a contract with him?
As that woman told us to, or whatever.
Yeah. Well, that
So we just did it.
that wacky
I mean-
music
I
played.
mean, I mean, why specifically with that Void Sun?
No idea. It was the first one available.
Well, we know that Zenos' Void Sent is special because Yoshi-P has already told us that it is, and that we will learn more about
Yes.
it.
Yeah, and it didn't make any appearance at any point during his Reaper life.
No. Well, it made that one appearance when.
It appears once during when he's about to kill our friends,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Garlemald, and then it appears during the final fight against him.
Yes.
It's very disappointing, though. No information, really.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know what the... I mean, the idea that it's related to Azem is interesting.
Like Asem's 13th shard from like it's the corrupted.
Us, though? Us Azem?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it
So
would be,
the
wouldn't it?
13th version of Ardbert, for
It's
example?
us.
Yeah, that is the theory being presented to us.
That's a good theory.
That is a really good theory, and that's very interesting.
It would kind of explain some of Zenos' behavior, even though he was a Reaper a bit late into his lifetime. It would explain his fascination
Yeah. I
a
mean,
little bit.
since he knew Fandaniel would probably facilitate, because he was what was his name?
Is it?
His elegant self worked with Void
is it
Tech,
not-
so yeah, go on, Greg.
Is it not possible that this is Hermes' shard from the 13th? And
Hermes'
that's how Hermes like hooked up Zenos with him.
That's
What if it's Harshaphonts? It's evil Harshaphont, guys. He's
Shut
coming. He's evil.
Rollo.
I need to kill him again.
So you're saying that the void sent is Hermes, and also Fandaniel is obviously Hermes. So it was like two Hermeses on either side of Zenos.
Yeah, possibly. That's just theory.
Yeah,
Interesting.
why not? Yeah.
I would, at the moment, I just can't figure. I can't rationalize why it would be our shard of the Warrior of Light. That's why I'm looking for alternatives still.
No, if Zenos had always been a Reaper, I would buy into it more because it would explain his behavior.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
The fact that he just liked us for no reason, then he engineered his own Echo, and then he became a Reaper. He just seems like the odd one out here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
And why does his avatar have his hair?
Don't know.
It's one to match.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. Maybe it's Zenos' shard.
That's why I'm thinking that 90% his avatar. I don't know if I wouldn't want to commit to saying it's definitely his avatar because.
But we've seen it. We've seen his avatar, or you're talking about it is Zenos' avatar.
Yeah.
It's the one that holds over its eyes. You know,
Yeah,
we've seen it. We have seen it. It is his, for sure.
Okay.
That has returned to the void. Yeah, whoever it is. I'm pretty sure it is someone's shard, though, like a corrupted version of someone we might know. Or
Yes,
have
it
met
has to be
before.
someone important.
Yeah,
If it's not someone important, that
that would be.
doesn't feel like the kind of storytelling this game would have.
No,
No, it has to be.
Oh my god, what if it's like Louis Soir? They wouldn't do that because he was
Evil
not.
Louis Swan. He's here.
All right. Oh god, I wonder. Have we ever speculated who Louis Soir would be, like who he would be in the ancient world? That would be. I would love that. I would love that. I would love to know.
I mean, conveniently, a lot of Scion's supposed ancient forms are in Elpis.
Yes.
But I mean, I guess Louis, maybe he's there already, and we just haven't looked.
Yeah, it's
Have a
possible.
look around.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Trista. We are gonna have to wrap up here. But okay, we'll do one more MogMail because this one is relevant to the 12 discussion we just had. It's very short, so let's do that one. This is from a Sony. Oh, it's from a Sony Mock. Yes, a Sony Mock from Genova. Sorry, I thought I brought up the wrong one. To continue with more baseless speculation on the 12, after playing this raid tier, I want to abandon all of my previous theories of the 12 and instead put forth the theory that they are familiars, Assems or maybe Venas. It would explain why Emmet Selk would definitely know what they are if he ever saw them, since they would be the same color as their creators. Possibly they were given a directive to guide or protect them. To guide or protect from behind the scenes. What do you think about this theory? So, yeah, we touched on that earlier. See, this is what makes the most sense. But that is also, in my humble onion, the most boring outcome. Because 100%. That's so expected. And that's... I don't know.
They're not even 12 different individuals from the Ancients, but they're just one person's creations would be very dull.
Yeah.
I hope they aren't.
I don't necessarily say that they're all Azems. I don't think they're Venas.
The thing I find most interesting about these gods is that they do the same thing that the auspices do and turn into minions.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else seems to do that.
No.
Meteon does.
No one cares about Meteon.
Yeah,
Meteon's
but I'm just
It's like-
giving you Mela, I'm giving you an example of an ancient creation that can turn into a minion.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I'm still hoping on the idea that there are other ancients that somehow escape the Sundering. Because I think that would be a lot more.
interesting.
That would be cool.
That would be interesting. Yeah.
And that they were given directives onto like.
And they've had like 1,000 years to get that buff.
Yeah, they've been bulking up. They've been...
Yeah.
Well, then how did now Thal become what he is?
Right.
I don't know. Maybe like the Sundering kind of fucked him up for a little bit.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
then I thought they
He
escaped
got
the
a little
Sundering.
bit. No, he got a
they
little
escaped
bit.
it. They didn't go unharmed. Is my. I don't
Well,
know.
the 11 of them got through, and then
Yeah.
Nalthal got like caught in the end, and he was split up a little bit.
Or maybe it was like two
That's
people.
why he's the
and
twins.
They were just standing like a little bit too close to each other, and then they got like formed together.
That's worse. It's like a 2 scenario.
Yeah.
Both of them got split in half, so they decided to join themselves into one full person. Just like Alpha No and Alize did at in the level 69.
Yeah. True.
Or maybe he's just been like that even when he was an ancient. He was just came out fucked up. Like he was just two people. The entire time.
I feel as if ancients don't create fucked up children. I feel as if that is not something they would allow to happen. It just doesn't sound like something that would exist in their society.
No.
Are you suggesting that they're conjoined twins?
No, I am suggesting something else that's not that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. That's that. We'll speculate. We don't know. We don't know anything about them yet. I just hope they are a little more than just a creation of
Be interesting.
them, because that's so done already. But all right. Moving on to the main beef, the main dish, the main beef.
Main beef.
No one says
The
main
main
beef.
beef.
The main story. We have some interviews with Yoshi-P. So we'll start with the first one. This is from PlayStation.blog. So
PlayStation.
yeah, this is more about beyond.
I love that it's
Yeah.
that's what they claim the website is PlayStation.blog, and then if you look at the URL, it's blog.playstation.
Yeah, it's very so yes, this interview will focus more on it's a Q&A sort of interview about the title is Beyond Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. All right, from enhancing solo play to a full graphical overhaul, a discussion on what's to come for the MMO. From newfound adventures to long-anticipated lore explorations, the first content patch since Final Fantasy XIV's Endwalker expansion marks the beginning of a new era for Warriors of Light everywhere. Producer and director Naoki Yoshida answered a few of our burning questions about what's to come for the critically acclaimed MMO. Have you heard about its free trial?
No.
PlayStation.blog. They're asking. Endwalker has led to the Warrior of Light through an incredibly climactic adventure of unprecedented scale, closing a chapter 10 years in the making. What do you see our Warrior of Light in our Warrior of Light's future? Doesn't he deserve a bit of a break? How do you follow up on such a grand adventure with so much at stake?
Doesn't he? Doesn't she?
Yeah, don't they deserve a bit of a break? Thank you. Yoshida says, I think our Warriors of Light had some rest, but there wasn't much rest for us in the development team. Smiles bitterly. This is such an iconic thing for Yoshi-P.
Why do they always do that
smiles
in every
bitterly.
interview?
Yeah, so...
Does he does he type that in an email interview?
Yeah, if this is purely a text interview, then like, does he always? Is that just like a Japanese emote that he likes to use?
Yeah,
Maybe.
Smiles bitterly.
Please look forward to the story that will begin from our newfound adventure and the mysteries and goals that will be brought up. I can't say much further. First, do be sure to see how things kick off in patch 6.1 story. I believe that the key to continuing these stories is whether or not they'll excite us as developers. If our motivation erodes away, there's no doubt that it will extend to our players. To prevent this from happening, we always place paramount importance on ensuring it's engaging and fun for us to create new stories and content from our perspective as developers. Yeah?
Fine. I mean, yeah, if you're bored, we'll be bored.
True.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. You've expressed wanting to make 14 more accessible to solo play. How do you marry the idea of an MMO by design a multiplier? Hi everyone, my name is Multiplier.
Markiplier experience.
By design a multiplayer experience and solo play. What is your design philosophy there, and how do you approach these changes while staying true to the MMO aspects? I was waiting for like a response for some reason. I was
sorry.
No,
Yeah.
I was waiting for
sorry.
I was asking a question. You're going to answer.
I will answer.
The answer is simple. My concept is to make the most of Final Fantasy XIV's characteristics as a story-driven MMORPG and make it so that only the story can be played through on a solo basis. So marrying isn't the right expression, and what I want to do is lower the barrier for entry among those who feel intimidated by MMORPGs, or who are not good at multiplayer games. Of course, I'll be happy if players are satisfied after completing just the story, or if throughout their journeys they discover the fun of multiplayer and MMORPGs, leading them to try out various types of content.
Yeah, the first one's free, kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is something we've seen.
Don't try Crystalline Conflict if you ever want to enjoy multiplayer.
I think, this is something he's talked about a lot before. I feel like if you're intimidated, I think isn't everyone, we've had this discussion before, but isn't everyone like a little intimidated the first time they play an MMORPG? Like, I think...
Yeah, for sure. But this is a not unique, but a slightly unique game because a lot of people never play MMOs and just play it because it's Final Fantasy.
Yeah, yeah.
And so for those people, it is a more bizarre experience.
That's true.
But
that is true. That is
what's
why,
the
like...
worst that can happen?
Like, I was forced to like, I got 11 for Christmas, but I knew that 11 was an MMORPG.
The worst Christmas ever.
That was great. It came with the, the hard drive and everything. But a PS2 player here, yeah, that's right. I was the first time I played it was on PS2, and I remember the fucking fear of seeing like someone moving across the screen and knowing that was another real person. I didn't like that.
I liked that.
I cut my teeth on MapleStory. I wasn't.
Yeah.
I've been in the trenches.
I'll never forget playing EverQuest 2 on a roleplay server and never really being sure whether they were trying to talk to me in character or not. And being so confused by what they were saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, Dosteth goeth on an adventure. I'm like, is this in character or not?
Oh, that's funny.
I've got to go and have my lunch.
Okay, moving on. The upcoming Alliance raid, Myths of the Realm, will focus heavily on some long-established lore of Eorzea. What do you think about some of the theories players have come up with about the deities and patrons of Eorzea? Will our chosen deity in character creation finally have an impact beyond flavor lore? Yoshida says, of course, I look through the theories players come up with, and it seems that some of them may not be far from hitting the mark.
That's me.
So I feel like
Ashan.
feel like these are creations based on that. In this Alliance raid, the story will be about the very existence of the 12 and their true nature. However, the deities chosen during character creation will not affect your status during battle. Our players need not worry.
Dang, that would have been fun.
They say during the battle. That does not mean that there won't be some sort of cutscene or something that is more tailored towards you and your chosen member of
That's
the 12.
true. That's true.
That'd be so funny at the end when they'll be like, Ralka will come up to you and go, oh, by the way, glad you picked me as your deity, even though I've not made mention of it for like 2 cycles.
Very cool, you worship me.
Yeah. Cool, dude.
Have a clipping of my beard.
All right. In some of the changes you've announced in your 10-year plan for the game, the graphical update has had many excited. How do you approach a project of this size, and what are your main areas of focus? Yoshida says, my area of focus was on those players who have spent a long time playing 14 and developed a strong attachment to their avatar. I don't want them to think my character looked better before, or this doesn't look right with this update. The beauty of graphics depends not only on the method used, but also on the sensibilities of the individual. So I'm merely aiming for the evolution of graphics from the perspective of Final Fantasy XIV. To this end, we created numerous batches of test data, while the artists, engineers, and I discussed and decided on an approach for updating the shaders, lighting, and textures that we would employ. Lastly, it's a matter of the game's creative direction. So it also largely depends on my sensibility in relation to judging, yes, this works. Yeah, 14 has been, we've said this many times, but 14 has been very lucky with its just overall look, because they've went for it's like between, like, it's kind of cartoonish but not really. It's like it's hard to describe 14.
It's a bit more realistic than like Kingdom Hearts, but
Yeah.
it's not as like realistic as 15
Right. Yeah.
or 13.
Right.
Boy, are we lucky for that.
Yeah, and the problem is that with the graphical, and I think that's what he means here, is that if they go too ham on like upgrading the graphics, it might start to like age rapidly.
Oh, yeah.
Because like as impressive as like 7 and 8 were at the time, they've aesthetically aged much more than you would say for 9, which has gone which went for a much more cartoony art style, which thankfully sort of holds up better with age.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's true.
that's
Yeah,
true.
Yeah.
As someone that didn't play World of Warcraft, when they did the visual update of all the races, were there people complaining about their characters not feeling the same or not looking the same as they remembered them looking prior?
No,
I don't
not
think
particularly.
that
The
was a
visual
big deal.
update for WoW was quite decent.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, because the style didn't really change. They just added more
No,
detail to them, essentially, but without touching. Yeah. Which is
same
kind of
with
what...
the overworld, like the old
Yeah.
zones.
It's kind of the same that we're seeing planned for the graphical update here, where the update isn't that massive. They're just introducing some... We're going to talk more about the graphical updates in the other interviews, but yeah. So yeah, there we go. Moving on. Many players are incredibly excited about the upcoming Dragon Songs. This is obviously before Ultimate came out. These are very long and difficult fights that are an ode to a specific story arc in 14. What was your design philosophy for the Dragon Song arc? How do you balance difficulty to ensure the content will be as challenging as possible, yet accessible? Yoshida says, this time the concept was to transform the story of the Dragon Song War from the patch 3.x series itself into an Ultimate raid. Clearing an Ultimate series raid doesn't necessarily reward players with powerful weapons or other such items. What players will acquire are a shiny weapon and a title. In other words, a challenge for themselves alongside a sense of fulfillment and pride for having battled to victory. With the exception of the World First race, that is precisely why I believe that the duty stands on its own, because there is a sense of challenge, rather than a focus on how fast the party clears it. As for the difficulty, we don't quite have approachability in mind. Laughs. So
Yeah, good. I don't know what they meant by accessible, because I don't think these should be.
No, I think these places
Accessible.
they don't. Yeah. Yeah, that's
At
strange.
least in terms of like player skill. Obviously, they should be accessible for different needs, but
right.
not as in like casuals shouldn't be clearing this.
With considering like how detailed and actually how many phases this Ultimate has, Mailer, as the person that has seen the most of it, do you think it is justifiable for them to have taken longer with it?
How long has it been since the last one? Now, it's
5.1.
no,
No. Okay.
it's a really good fight. I don't know how long their general cycle of producing them is, but I think having like an expansion isn't good enough for such a strong piece of content. Because do you really want to be excited imagine being the most hardcore player, and this is like the one thing you want to do. What do you do for the rest of the
remember
2
that
years?
you have to remember that the Ultimate was meant to come out in Shadowbringers, but pandemic and stuff pushed everything back. So
In
that's
terms
why
of
we're
that,
getting
if it was
now.
meant to come out like in 5.5 or something.
And haven't they already told us that we're going to get another Ultimate?
I think they said they're very much aiming for it.
Yeah, so they want to have
Two an
at least 2
expansion.
per expansion.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're up to this quality, that's an acceptable timeline.
Yeah.
I don't know what they'll do next.
Warring
This-
Triad.
War in Tribe will be
Chester.
super cool.
Probably will be. Yeah.
I don't think that's as good story-wise, though. But I think this will be a real peak for Ultimate, so I don't think we'll see
Hey.
another one this good for a while.
They'll justify it by like involving Omega. So like Omega, we're like, haha, you want to experience Final Fantasy VI? I'll show it to you.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I think I feel like the next Ultimate of this quality will probably be like the Heidelin Zodiac one in like 10 years' time.
Oh, that's possible. They could do something like that.
That one
yeah.
would be a very good story-wise as well.
Yeah, we have many. Yeah, Four Lords. There's a lot they can.
Four
pick
Lords
from.
is fun again, but
Four
not good
Lords.
story-wise.
A Four Lords where you actually get to fight the final thing there, Mela.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please show me
Oh
what it even
yeah,
looks like.
that's true. That's
The
like
Yeah, you
stupid
don't
fucked up
fight it.
horse.
yeah, kind of forgot about
It's
him.
just a Kirin. It's just,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just a Kirin
Yeah.
model.
Okay, so moving on to the next interview. This is by Tech Radar, and this is more about the graphical stuff that we touched on, and it's specifically touching on ray tracing, which we've talked about before. So let's jump into it. Naoki Yoshida, director and producer of Final Fantasy XIV, has said not to expect ray tracing to be added to the popular MMORPG anytime soon, and perhaps not even as part of the graphical upgrade that's coming to the game in the next couple of years. In an exclusive comment to Tech Radar, Yoshida explained that ray tracing isn't a priority for the development team right now, owing to the notion that the advanced lighting tech may not be a good fit for Final Fantasy XIV in general. At this point, quote, "At this point in time, I haven't placed so much importance on ray tracing," says Yoshida. "This is because PC systems that can render graphics with it are limited, and it would not be very effective in 14, where there's not a strong impression related to visuals of machines in the game." What is that? What does he mean by that? They would not be very effective in 14, where there's not a strong impression related to visuals of machines in the game.
Attempting to say that the game's quite well optimized for older machines, and we're not putting so much focus on graphical fidelity.
Well, I think
there's some clarification
The article's going
following.
to explain this.
Yeah. Yoshida isn't wrong. While Final Fantasy XIV does feature more science fiction elements and settings, such as Magitech Steel of the Garlean Empire and Allegan institutions like the Etherochemical Research Facility, such locales are few and far between compared to the more fantastical settings one would often associate with the series. So he says that Yoshi-P saying that it's more ray tracing is more impactful in a higher tech area.
I feel like he's just making
locations or worlds.
Well, we
think
have
he's just
loads
making
of
a joke or something.
Yeah,
I don't
this
really know what
might
he's saying.
fly over our heads here. I think something's lost in translation, maybe, because there's lots
that
of
doesn't
tech.
make sense.
Allegan is like we have so many Allegan dungeons and locations.
But we haven't gone to an Allegan location recently. We haven't gone there since.
And thank God, let's
That's
keep
true.
it that way.
Yeah, I'm done with that. Well, Crystal Tower is Allegan. We've been there plenty of times. Imagine that with ray tracing. That'd be wild.
Internally, Crystal Tower has much more of like it's the least technologically looking parts of the Allegan Empire.
It's
It's
true.
much more
Allegan.
like an ancient structure. It's actually late Allegan.
Yeah,
I know, but it shouldn't be.
But imagine the ray tracing in the Crystal Tower with all that crystal. That would be wild. But
like Labyrinth is what early Allegan should look like in my head.
I agree.
But it's not.
It is not.
It's so stupid.
Okay. That is not to say graphical enhancements aren't coming to Final Fantasy XIV at all, though, as the game is set to receive an update in this regard alongside the launch of the next expansion, which, given the current rate of major patch updates, is speculated to launch sometime in 2024. Yoshida supports this announcement, made at a recent Letter from the Producer Live presentation, by stating, "However, as we recently announced in Letter from the Producer Live, part 68, we will increase the power of our graphics engine as we look ahead to Final Fantasy XIV's future expansion. We will seek to add new ways of expressing graphics as we go about doing this. DirectX 12 will also be part of that."
Whoa, DX.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, we're getting DX12. That's a good update, I guess. That will force people, because I don't think... Because some people still play 14 on like Windows 7, right? But DirectX 12 is not supported.
Some people still play it on DX9.
Can you even do that anymore?
You can still play it on DX9. It's not supported, and if you have like graphical issues with it, they won't help you with them.
Right, okay. Because I think...
DX10 is now default. We skipped 11.
Yeah. Wait, did we skip 11?
Now.
No, we're on...
Well, why would we do it?
skipped 10.
We skipped 10.
No. Oh, sorry, we
skipped 10. We're on 11 now.
Yeah, we skipped 10.
Yeah. So I think that's another sort of generation of OSs that won't be able to play on like the highest settings anymore.
That's fine.
That's fine. I mean, honest, if you're playing on Windows 7, it's time. You don't have to, but I will say it is not time for 11. Go to 10.
Oh,
Yeah,
do yourself a favor.
I'm
don't.
suffering. I'm suffering.
Yeah.
Are you on 11? I'm so
Yeah, I was
sorry.
forced to roll it when I got my new computer. It came with it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yuri.
I suspect DX12 support will come around the same time that they want to abandon PS4 support.
Potentially. It'll
maybe,
probably
yeah.
come with this expansion.
Does PS4 support DirectX 12? Surely. Or does it not?
Don't ask me.
I don't know. Oh, no, they use a different platform, don't they? They don't use
Yeah.
I don't think they use DirectX, do they? I don't know.
They
Don't know
use
enough about consoles.
OpenGL, don't they?
Yeah, they might be. I don't know. PlayStation does not use DirectX. Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, based on Yoshida's comments, it seems unlikely that ray tracing will arrive in Final Fantasy XIV at present, even with the planned graphical update. This is actually supported by another comment Yoshida shared with us on the topic of the Endwalker zones that were among the most challenging to develop. The most difficult in terms of finishing touches were Mare Lamentorum on the moon and Ultima Thule, the last zone, which were implemented in Endwalker. It was equally immensely difficult to create the lighting, shadows, and build up what we envisaged for the objects to be placed within the limited capabilities of the graphics engine. At any rate, it wasn't like any of us in the development team, myself included, could leave Earth and visit other planets for research. Laughs. With that in mind...
Final Fantasy 15 devs would have.
True. With that in mind, then, adding ray tracing lighting technology to Final Fantasy XIV isn't quite as simple as taking a blanket approach and applying it to the entirety of the explorable zones across the game. Some zones simply wouldn't benefit due to the lack of areas and landmarks that could truly show off the tech. Additionally, some zones, as Yoshida mentioned, required much more work to get the lighting right within Final Fantasy XIV's relatively old engine. The development team could
That's generous.
the development team could try to implement an easier, more cost-effective solution, like local shadow ray tracing, as we saw with Cyberpunk 2077, but even that runs the risk of creating inconsistent lighting across the vast game world.
I don't like that solution. I think that would be very bad for our game.
Yeah. Because they put a lot of work into setting the lighting just right, and that's with this really old engine. Remember when he showed off that they could only put like one real light into a scene, and then the rest had to be like faked somehow. Like there's some fakery involved, so the shadows don't cast right and stuff.
They are working on that. That's something that will get.
That's what I'm
updated
saying.
Next...
But just imagine if they're going to do the ray tracing thing, that means they flick the switch for ray tracing. There's one light source in the whole scene, and there's like, oh, okay, lovely. Okay.
Maybe you'll be able to have more of those directed lights inside your house once we get this graphics.
Oh, yes, finally. That's such a bizarre... that's because you can only have one light source.
You may have two and no more.
Two, oh man.
Yeah. Finally, as PC, PS5, and PS4 players share the same servers with crossplay enabled, the Final Fantasy XIV team may wish to keep a relatively consistent graphical experience across the three platforms. While it's certainly a very capable console in terms of graphics, ray tracing on PS5 will more often than not compromise the frame rate in games that support the lighting tech. Plus, the PS5 version of Final Fantasy XIV currently can't maintain a consistent frame rate in both 4K and 1440p display modes. Adding ray tracing to the mix risks compromising that already rocky experience even more. See,
the power of the PS5.
Isn't that sad? That is so sad that it's like we're on the current gen, really expensive PS5, can't run 14 at a consistent frame rate.
Compare PS5 to a high-end PC price point wise.
Yeah. I'm just saying this is with consoles.
4K and 2K though.
Consoles are supposed to but that's the gamer's resolution on consoles now. It was actually that with the PS4. That was like the big draw with that.
It's supposed to be able to go up to like 120 FPS on 2K or maybe 4K.
Who plays 1080p on their TV nowadays? Like no one does that.
No, not if you're on your TV, no. But
that's what a console is meant for.
PS5 update is adding variable frame rate soon. It may just be like something that's enforced within the hardware right now that cause this, because I don't see why. I mean, it depends what they're saying, where it's maintain a consistent frame rate. At what frame rate?
Yeah.
I doubt they mean 60, because the de facto now is like 120 on PS5.
Is it?
Does it mean they can't maintain 120?
I would
really?
I would say 60. 60 is standard frame rate.
120
Yeah.
is advertised at like 2
Yeah, but
or
I don't
4K.
think that's the standard.
This is an MMO.
brilliant.
This is for 14. Is it 14 does not
No, I
boast
know,
that you
but
can play
it's talking
4K.
about the PS5's capabilities, and it's saying it can't maintain a consistent frame rate. I'm asking at what frame rate? 'Cause
60.
If it's 60, that's bad. But if it's 120, then that's fair.
There's no way they're going to expect 120 frames per second from a PS5 on an MMO. That's
would.
unlikely. What?
You would.
At 4K?
It's only 14.
It's a PS. It's a
At
console.
2K, I
Yeah,
would
but-
expect it.
Consider how do you think your PS5 is going to react if you want to play this game at 4K, 120 frames per second, and you're wandering through the Aetheryte Plaza in Limsa Laminsa?
Yeah.
Yeah, some locations you'd need to have like less people on screen.
The problem for me is that it can't maintain apparently 60 frames per second. In
Yeah,
this,
that's bad if that's true.
Yeah. But again, it's an MMO. It's different than another game. There's a lot of things to load in and keep loading in, so it's different. But still, yeah. Okay. Last interview that we're touching on here is from NME.com.
What does that stand for, Lakil?
Norwegian men. There's a word that I want to say there, but this is the podcast.
I'll say it. It's Norwegian. It's not English.
Entities. There we go.
No, New Musical Express.
Okay, almost. It's pretty close.
Really?
Yeah.
Apparently.
Okay, so this is about patch 6.1. Director and producer Naoki Yoshida discusses Final Fantasy XIV's new storyline, its accompanied alliance raid, and making PvP enjoyable for all players. Following the long, carefully
You hear
crafted,
that, Mela?
Shut up.
following the long, carefully
Not enjoyable
crafted,
for anyone.
carefully crafted journey from Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn to the success of the latest expansion, Endwalker, many players were left with one big question: what's next? The MMO's first story arc, which told the tale of Hydaelyn and Zodiark, spanned 10 years and 4 expansions. And in that time built the world of Eorzea that so many players have grown to love, not to mention filled with extensive lore and memorable characters. For developer Square Enix, the answer to this is simple. Another chapter, a new adventure, and they're only just getting started. Warriors of Light have already been given a taste of what's to come with the recently released patch 6.1 Newfound Adventure, a major update that features the first batch of content following the conclusion of Endwalker, including brand new main scenario quests, an alliance raid, a new PvP duty, and more, and more. Considering how Final Fantasy XIV's first tale took its time telling an intricate storyline, it's too early to determine where exactly this arc will lead, but players who have already taken the time to play through the new quests will know that it has already presented new mysteries and leaves off on an interesting cliffhanger. Speaking to NME, Final Fantasy XIV... Really? Does it leave us off an interesting cliffhanger?
I mean, we're going into the void.
Yeah, what does the big void man want?
Yeah, I
What's
guess
Golbez
it
after?
leaves... Yeah, Golbez is probably the big one.
Yeah,
I
what are
guess.
Golbez and the Four Fiends going to do?
Yeah, that's true.
Aren't you curious?
Speaking to NME, Final Fantasy XIV director and producer Naoki Yoshida says he hopes players will appreciate the beginning of this new adventure following Endwalker. We undertook development in the hope that players will think a new fun adventure has started. I can't wait to see how this one continues, exactly along the lines of the patch title. We'll be incredibly happy if we get that kind of response. At any rate, whichever way you enjoy it, we'd love for you to continue appreciating the journey throughout the adventure. With every MMO that receives regular updates, a lot of time and effort is dedicated to building the game's story. Despite patch 6.1 featuring just a taste of what's to come, Yoshida has confirmed that the writing team has already completed the writing for the main scenario quest through the 6.x updates and is currently in the process of writing 7.0.
Whoa.
Completed the writing for the main scenario quests. I would have thought they would have finished like the main outlines, but like they'd still. I guess they'd still be open to like editing things.
Yeah, that's pretty pug.
Yeah.
I mean, they have always said that they're normally writing 2 years ahead of where they.
That's true.
Where we
but
are.
then
Yes.
They tend not to really talk about it until it's happened. They're like, "Oh yeah, we started this 2 years ago."
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Well, why would they?
Yeah, well, I know, but it's nice to hear, I guess.
Yeah. The plot for the main scenario in the patch 6.x series has already been completed, and we've decided on its conclusion, he explained. Currently, script-related work for several patches and work on the detailed plot are underway. In fact, on my end, I'm already deciding on what I envision for 7.0. You see, Final Fantasy XIV is tough work. Alongside new main scenario quests, the highly anticipated Alliance raid Myths of the Realm was finally presented to players. This raid in particular had garnered much speculation following its initial announcement, given its theme around the 12. Many wondered how Myths of the Realm would play a role in the MMO story, just as others have before in the past, such as the Labyrinth of the Ancients, and given the significance of the 12, as well as the fact that it's the first original Alliance raid in a long time, players were eager to find out. According to Yoshida, the team designed this raid to expand the lore of the 12, which has been wrapped in the game's story since the beginning, and make players ask questions about their purpose and origin. Do the 12 really exist? If they do, are they literally gods or primals? He said. The answers to such questions will be revealed in this raid series, and it is somewhat related to the main storyline, but not mandatory to play, so take it easy and enjoy the raid. Well, hopefully...
We already know they're not primals.
Yeah, and unless they're lying...
That's what they say.
What if they are primals? That's the most disappointing. That's bad ending unlocked. I would hate that. All right. Another exciting addition to Final Fantasy XIV was the adjusted PvP experience, along with a brand new Crystalline Conflict PvP duty. Crystalline Conflict, in particular, is the most notable update to PvP, as it features short, ranked, and casual matches balanced for all players to enjoy.
In what way? Sorry, for how to enjoy? How do we enjoy it?
Mela, just don't be bad. I got a bronze 3.
Is the enjoyable experience to just run around the map and see the sights? Is that what the fun thing is? Is that what people like to do? Because they're never going on the point, which is the whole point.
I think it's all you. You're the common factor here.
Okay, all right. There exists a portion of players who are very active in the competitive scene, but when it came to casuals checking out the system, it wasn't as engaging. For the development team... For the development team.
What do you mean, Georgie? You didn't like the... I think I'll just try some feast. And 2 hours later, getting into a queue to get
and then get destroyed in like 10 seconds.
God, it's so...
It was good.
Let me tell you, I've been doing Seal Rock for a very long time.
Uh-huh.
Every time it comes up, I queue up for Salt Rock, and then I cry because I don't get any wins that day.
Yeah.
And I don't know how... I don't know how they just let this game mode exist. I don't know why they let me suffer like this. Why let anyone suffer in this fucking game?
Okay, for the development team, Yoshida said it was their desire to create opportunities for more players to enjoy PvP. Based on the characteristics of Final Fantasy XIV players, we are revamping the PvP actions for all jobs, eliminating the concept of roles, and making PvP fun in a casual, easygoing way, but while still making sure the action is intense in ranked matches, Yoshida explained.
You're damn right it's easygoing. It's so easygoing, some people barely even touch their keyboards, it seems. That's pretty easygoing, I think. Seems pretty easygoing.
We have also created a new reward system specifically for PvP, which I hope you will enjoy, and will endeavor to be as responsive as possible when undertaking balance adjustments with respect to player feedback moving forward.
Keep Warrior Stun, though. Keep that. I want the AoE stun. That's really fun.
Don't touch my limit break. You can slow it down. You can.
They need to increase the time it takes. For
that's fine.
Your limit break cannot exist.
How anymore. Fucking dare you?
Well, I disagree with Mela on that.
Yeah.
In its current form.
In its current form, it recharges too quickly.
Is stupid, Lukiel. It just stuns
Mela,
people.
I can barely do anything else. It's all I fucking have. I can turn you into an imp. That's it.
I mean, you gotta admit, if they had the balls to give a healer a gap closer, which puts you right next to your enemy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta give them something else.
Yes. And that's the only way
to do that to get your AoE
Cure 3. Yeah, it's fucked up. They're forcing me to jump into like the fray and fucking die just to unlock my Cure 3. All right. Prior to the release of Endwalker, the development team announced a new management system that will be added to the game, named Island Sanctuary. This is a highly anticipated feature that will allow players to experience the quiet Final Fantasy XIV life, as opposed to running dungeons, raids, and PvP. It's a far more casual system.
That'll be my psychiatric hospital after running too many Crystal Icon games.
It's a far more casual system that will let players raise animals, cultivate the earth, and relax away from all the responsibility of the Warrior of Light. This
sounds really nice.
It does sound nice.
Yeah, it sounds lovely.
The feature was originally scheduled to launch alongside Endwalker, but was delayed and will now release with patch 6.2.
Oh, so long.
Speaking on Island Sanctuary, Yoshida has reaffirmed that all is proceeding nicely with the new system, and players can expect its release soon. Yoshida says everything is progressing well, but since this is content that plays very differently from things we've implemented previously, now that patch 6.1 has been released, I'd like to spend some time taking a closer look by showcasing it in the letter from the producer live for patch 6.2, he said.
Oh my god.
I can tell you. You roll it first?
I just gonna say I love how when it comes to Island Sanctuary, they have to like be on this really thin line of being like, yes, guys, get excited. It's gonna be this new casual fun content. You can relax, and then they'll also be like, it's our first time making this. Don't expect quality. Don't expect start. It might just be shit. So the expectations.
Yeah.
He mentions it being in an upcoming live letter. I can tell you right now it's not going to be in the next one. The next one is going to cover patch 6.15.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It'll be in like June.
Yeah. During sometime during summer, we'll see the first maybe even a demo of this content. So
it'll just be a big flat island.
just
with one
nothing.
minion running around.
And just a tiny little hut like that.
We have ended support for Seal Rock.
Yeah,
which is now your island sanctuary.
That's the island sanctuary. Yeah.
When you're gonna boot up into Island Sanctuary, it's gonna fucking load into GM_flatgrass. That's all you're gonna have.
Those were the days.
Oh yeah.
Build it yourself, fucker.
Oh yes. Well, there you go. That was 3 interviews from Yoshi-P. Interesting stuff. No ray tracing, but I can live without ray tracing.
We don't need ray tracing. What we need is anti-aliasing.
Yes. We need it.
Feels like such a gimmick.
The game is
so ugly in this game.
The aliasing is horrible.
It is.
Ray tracing is. I don't care. I don't care about ray tracing.
Ray tracing looks nice in games that are designed for it.
Yeah,
this isn't.
But sometimes I'll be like, I'll play a game and it's like, okay, this has ray tracing. And I'm like, I can't tell the difference. I really can't tell the difference.
Yeah, it really depends how it just. It's just more realistic shadowing and lighting.
Yeah.
If you want to get some cool stuff, get some DLSS in there. That shit's dope.
Oh yeah, that's
pretty good.
Yeah.
If you're on a lower end system or whatever and need to boost up to play 8K.
I can only play game at 8K. Okay, so.
All right. Well, that's it, everyone. That's the show. We're at the end. We did it. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. Remember to follow on Twitter at SpeakersXIV, twitch.tv/SpeakersOfHeidelin, youtube.com /SpeakersXIV, exclamation Discord if you're watching on demand. Links in the description. Send us MogMail, speakersXIV.com/MogMail. And if you're watching live, post-show is about to start, so make sure you watch that. All right, we'll see you later. Goodbye.
Goodbye.